Happy Friday, son. We are back home. Let's get a cheers to that. Cha-ching. We're back home. It was an amazing experience. We got to go up to the North Georgia mountains where I'm from. I'm not from the mountains. I'm from North Georgia-ish. Stopped in Jacksonville yesterday. A lovely experience. My wife and I, we just wanted to have one last trip before our son came into this world in December. So now we're almost a month away. We're like 5 weeks away from him being born. That's crazy. But today I want to jump right into the topic for today, and that is why I stopped watching Colin and Samir, stopped listening to them, and why you should too. Okay? Hang with me. Are you ready? So, here's the thing. All right. What I am going to say is preface all of this with, if you're watching this, you probably know who Colin and Samir are. Colin and Samir are an incredible duo of a group who make educational content for aspiring, professional, etc. YouTubers. Okay. So they have they have a wealth of information on everything you might need in order to grow as a creator, to learn more about the creator economy, etc., etc. All right. And I've listened to them forever. I've listened to them since 2018. So almost 5 years now, which is crazy. Back when they weren't even doing like really education focused stuff, they still didn't really know what to do. I listened to like the first few episodes of their podcast. So I've been following along for a while. And I just recently stopped for two reasons. One was petty, and two was very legit reason. So I'll start with the petty reason to keep you entertained. So you ready for some tea? Are you ready for the tea here? The reason I stopped was because they hurt my feelings. All right. They hurt my feelings. I was crushed by something they did and said recently that it just makes it hard to listen to them. And it's petty, right? And it's dumb. They don't owe me anything. They don't, but it still doesn't take away from the pain, right? And I'm not expecting an apology. I'm sure if I meet them in person, right, they'd be very nice and lovely. But this is what happened, okay? They did something that I cannot forgive. I cannot forgive them for that. No, I'm just kidding. But as you know, if you know anything about me or this channel, I've talked about it in other videos, but I made a video and I attempted to deliver a cardboard cutout of Ryan Trahan to Mr. Beast. Okay. So we're just going to keep going. I joined their Discord and I had been like, I had been asking them a lot of questions in their podcast, creator support. I felt like I was being on those episodes pretty often. And it, might have seemed like they recognized me. I'm not sure. They probably didn't. Let's be real. But, I joined their Discord and I kind of introduced myself. I was like, hey guys, my name's Dino. Been a long time listener, long time fan. And someone in the channel kind of responded like, hey, aren't you that guy that stalked Mr. Beast? And I was just like, I am just a man, I'm just a guy. I guess you might say that, but I didn't really stalk him, right? Because I didn't do that at all. And a lot of people reacted with like a death face emoji to that statement. And Samir was one of those guys. He was one of those guys. He laughed. He kind of, which is fine. That's fine. Basically, he saw that interaction and he laughed. So he reacted. It's like, okay, sure. I get that. Whatever. That wasn't it. It was on another creator support episode. So this was months later. I feel like this was like 3 months later. And maybe it was because they recorded it early, but they left this message there. They posted, they had in their creator support podcast episode a whole segment about stalking on YouTube. And they said how some stalker showed up in Mr. Beast's hometown and tried to deliver him something, like some sort of stupid cardboard cutout. and how sick and twisted that was. And maybe they more so said like, hey, this guy was stalking him. Like, you know, and they kind of, hey, that's not cool. And what frustrated me about that was because they have a whole team of researchers who are helping analyze content. They have writers, they have people who are doing deep dives on topics to help give them more information to use. And they couldn't do the 5 seconds of clicking on my profile and watching a 5-minute video, or even looking at a tweet that I posted within that time frame, explaining everything. So for someone who has a team of researchers, they didn't do enough research to actually know that someone that was in their audience, that was a big fan of them, wasn't actually a stalker. You know, might have even been an interesting, like Danny Gonzalez and Pinely did a whole video about me and a few others. And they had, you know, they did some research. They looked it up and they gave me the benefit of the doubt. They're like, hey man, maybe he's just like, maybe he was planning on this. Maybe he was trying to do this, go viral, and then prove to everybody that they shouldn't be doing it. That would have been interesting. And they kind of reasoned through it with each other and with the audience and the viewers. But Colin and Samir didn't do that. So I don't know. Ever since I heard that, that was the initial like pang in the chest where I felt betrayed by them a little bit. But you know what? Like it's very parasocial of me. So, and I understand it's not lost on me. They don't know me. I'm not their friend. I'm just a guy who watches them. So they don't know they don't owe me anything. That was the petty reason. Okay. The real reason is this. The very legit reasons of why you shouldn't watch them as much is because I remember what I was doing when I was watching them a lot. You know what I was doing? Nothing. I wasn't making videos. I wasn't thinking about making videos. I wasn't producing videos. I wasn't posting videos. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing the thing. I was spending so much time consuming about the thing. My apologies. I was spending so much time listening about the thing, hearing about the thing, watching the thing, that you know what I wasn't doing? I was spending all my time consuming how to do it and not actually doing it. And so my challenge to you, and this is why I'm actually doing this. This is why I'm doing this and why I've posted more long form videos in the last 2 months than I ever posted in the 4 years that I listened to Colin and Samir. And this isn't just about Colin and Samir. This is really any other education YouTube channel about YouTube. So Creator Science with Jay Klaus. Haven't really watched many of his videos anymore. The Editing Podcast. Haven't really watched much of their stuff anymore. Who else? Ali Abdaal. Like all of these like top people, right? I stopped watching them. I made a choice to not watch them, not because I had anything against them, but because I was spending so much time consuming instead of creating. And you only have a finite amount of time. You know this. And so I stopped doing it. And you might be arguing, here's an argument. You might be saying, well, Dino, you just do it while you drive. You know, do it while you're doing something else. Do it while you're washing dishes. But you know what's been interesting? When I stopped listening to as many podcasts, I started talking with my wife while I washed the dishes. I started listening to my breathing whenever I exercise and I run. I started putting the windows down and jamming out and just enjoying the day in the car. And you would be surprised what that'll do for your mental health, for your positivity, for your outlook. Because when you're constantly filling your head with all this information about being a YouTube creator, you stop learning how to turn it off. You never learn how to turn it off. And then you get to me where I would literally wake up and I like had to watch a video about YouTube that morning. Like it was that bad. And so life is about balance. I'm burping a lot just from this. That's crazy. Life is all about balance, and it's all about trying to navigate the highs and the lows and the excess and the, I don't know what I'm even saying at this point, but I think you understand what I'm trying to get at, which is instead of listening and hoping and dreaming for what you could do, just go out and do it. Just do it. I've learned more from posting daily Monday through Friday here than I have from listening to like 2 podcasts about it. I think at this point, I rarely have. You've probably heard everything you could hear about creating content, because all everyone's doing is just talking about the same thing in the same way. Truly, and you probably deep down understand this. You could listen to the most recent Colin and Samir podcast, but there's really not going to be anything new that you hear. You're hearing it from a new perspective, which could be valuable. I think there are certain things that are valuable. But most likely, you know what you need to do. You have everything under your tool belt. If you're listening to this, you probably know. And you just need to move your time away from listening and towards doing. And that's what I'm going to do and say and leave you with on this lovely Friday before I log off for the weekend. So I hope this was interesting to you. If you want to hear more about some of my personal opinions on the ethics of being a content creator and the ethics of making content for kids, you should check out this video here. You should check that out. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Okay. I love you.